was about to say Saturday morning, it's Saturday afternoon. This is the time when you were kids, when I was a kid, and cartoons only came on Saturday mornings, mostly, and not, you know, wasn't 24 hours a day cartoons all the time. You get up real early and watch the cartoons, but by noon they were pretty much over. I want to say at like 11:30 for a while, like it kicked into old Looney Tunes. It was like a updated Looney Tunes wrapper, but it just showed the old cartoons. And then by noon, I think cartoons were pretty much done. You had to kind of just like go about your day, you know, start at 7 or 8 a.m. and then go. So cartoons are over. It's over. Forget it. Hi, it's me. We're gonna keep working on this thing, I guess. That was the wrong button. I was playing some Loop Hero this morning. Maybe I should stream more of that. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of don't like it. It's just I beat the first boss. I'm on the second boss. It's a little bit grindy to get the materials to upgrade stuff, and it's a lot to manage, like in terms of all the synergies of everything and the way stuff all works together. I'll probably play it a bit more, but I think it's cool. It just may not be quite right for me. Just like this wallpaper. Not quite right for me. Wow, look at these blossoms. This looks like a photo I took yesterday, but with a real camera instead of a cell phone camera. I went down to the riverfront here in Portland, Oregon yesterday to see the cherry blossoms. And they were nice. A beautiful picture of a mechanical keyboard key without its cap. These are not good pictures. That one's kind of cool. It's good. So yeah, this app, we need to just get it done, right? Like, it's not important. It's not that important. It's just an idea, and I just kind of want to get it out. I don't know what to do with it in terms of like promoting it or whatever. I don't know. I think it will just kind of exist as a thing that's like, hey, if you want to give me money, you can buy this thing for $1 and then give 30% to Apple. Actually 15%, because I got approved for the thing, the you don't make any money on the App Store thing where they only take 15%. So how about that? I think one of the main problems with my stream lately, I mean, other than, you know, all the normal problems with my stream, is the like this shot of my apartment. It's not very good. I need to do something. The main thing I probably need to do is move away from here. Oh look, Loop Hero just popped right up. I meant to click this. So, as of yesterday, the thing we were thinking was the following. We were thinking that while... Okay. We got these things. We got 7 of them. Whatever. They're kind of cool. The buttons are so tiny. They're also so ambiguous. Like, what are these buttons? What are they even doing? Does anybody know? Not me. So what we were thinking of towards the end of yesterday was we probably need to pull all the buttons out and put them down here. And then the idea would be you'd be on the home page here and you'd pick one of these, and then maybe the whole page would slide over to the track you were on. Maybe? Would that be cool? I don't know. It would just slide over, and then you'd be on the track, and then there'd be a back button you could slide back. It would not be a complicated thing to do, really. Be a little bit annoying, but only a little bit. Like, I think we could do it pretty easily and just slide the canvas over. Toggle on the dude, like turn on the dude, and then slide over, like right as you clicked. that takes away the ability to just like super rapidly jump between things, but I don't think that matters that much. Also, this on enable should destroy everything inside there. By the way, that's a thing we should look at on all of these. Kyle, I think we want to... Here's what I think. I think right now on all these, we have these tiny buttons inside all of these, and they're very inconsistent in their positioning. They're inconsistent in their design, and they're inconsistent in like the thing that they do. And they're pretty ambiguous and weird. Like it's not super clear what they do. So I was thinking that they would become buttons here that had little labels, so at least be a little more clear what's going on, maybe. And so as you switch through these, a secondary interface down here would change, and you wouldn't have these buttons anymore. That's what I was thinking. Like this guy, we could even get rid of the top thing, because right now the top thing just changes the weight. But like, you could change the weight. Why not change the weight just by tapping on the thing? It'd be a little weird because it'd be a moving target. But you could have a play and a pause and a clear. So I don't know. Like it's pretty close. And we did some testing yesterday on a device, and other than the tiny buttons and maybe some minor performance issues, after a certain fix, it was pretty okay. So, you know, we'd need to conform the palette some. Definitely all of these need like a little bit of tweaking. But the biggest change would be if we're gonna do this thing where we decide to pull the UI out. I'm honestly a little torn on that, because there's something about saying like, no, it's totally self-contained. It should be fully self-contained in here. All interaction should be fully self-contained. But like this one doesn't do anything. It just really like has a pause and a clear, really. And the pause seemingly doesn't even work. So really, that should just clear. That's funny, because it comes back and then it isn't playing. Yeah, something's busted. It's pretty close. I think it's pretty close. Like you could release it like this and it would be a thing. Like it does the thing. It's bad. Right now the functionality is fine, it's just bad UX. And it's bad UX because the buttons are too small, and it's bad UX because the buttons are too ambiguous. But I'm just a bit torn on that, because there is like the original notion was like, no, the whole experience for each track exists inside of a square. Like that was part of the idea. And Gate does that. Like there's nothing, you know, right now on Gate, there's nothing outside of it. It just exists. Probably want to change these to where these were toggles, where they were toggled on or off instead of just a one-time thing. Oh yeah, you got the day off. What do you want? The search thing? The search thing is annoying because it would mean we would have to totally change the way we're parsing the arguments. Like we'd have to actually make a good command, like a good parser. Probably. There's other ways we could do it, but if you wanted parameters to have arguments also, you need a more robust parser. Or do you have other features you've thought of? Okay, think of some more things. I was thinking, I wondered if we could tell it to not show all the Chrome. I mean the, you know, like the UI, the additional YouTube UI, so it wasn't all over the place. We could write that parser. It's not the hardest thing in the world. It's just, you know, it's a little bit of a project. Because you basically have to, right now we just say, look at all the commands you give, and every one of those is a discrete command, and it's fine. As soon as you start saying that you're gonna have parameters, especially something like a search string where you don't know how many, you know, if it was like volume 10, at least you can say like, okay, we have a parameter and then it expects an integer after the parameter, right? If the search string just gets a little nuts. Particularly because like, I guess you could say like, oh, just when you see search, you just look for some number of English language words after that, and then those become the search string. But how do you know when, like, if there's a command after the search, how do you do that? Like, usually on command line arguments, that is solved by, you know, the arguments themselves are prefixed with a dash or a slash or a double dash. Or you just say, you sacrifice the ability to have a bunch of commands at once and say the commands are discrete, and then they can have whatever arguments they want. Or do you enforce artificial rules, like when you use search, anything after search is a search. You're not going to parse anymore. Just anything that comes after it. But that doesn't work with our current parsing. So anyway. Oh, to put a Twitch stream up with the Twitch embed API? I don't know. Let's take a quick look at that. I'm a little curious because I'm not fully decided on this thing yet. So let's take a quick diversion. Twitch iframe embed. So the one thing that definitely makes it a little annoying is, since right now we're just straight up using the YouTube API, nothing we have right now would translate directly. But maybe it's not hard. Embedding live streams and VODs in a non-interactive iframe. Embedding live streams and VODs in an interactive iframe. I don't know what the difference is. See, so some of these things, we had that issue where we were trying to make live iframes and we had some dumb permissions problem. Maybe that's what this is, parent. Maybe we needed that. Maybe that's the issue. Which is annoying, but whatever. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it, like, extensions work? I don't know. Non-interactive iframe. Doesn't actually say what the difference is. But whatever. It's going to be not interactive anyway if it's in an OBS layer, right? So non-interactive. So this is pretty different from the YouTube thing, because YouTube gives you, there's an API that does all this stuff. You could maybe still do some of that stuff, because you could at least... So this gets a little annoying, because like the idea of saying something's muted or not, in YouTube we just call different functions to do that. For Twitch, oh, okay. Actually, maybe that's what interactive means. Maybe interactive means you can talk to it with JavaScript in an interactive iframe. I see. That's what this is. Okay. So actually, this is not totally that. So interactive, this is a weird naming, I guess. This means you can talk to it. You can talk to it like this. And so you can at least like do some of the same stuff that we can. And you'd have to catch some functions. So we'd basically have to rewrite everything we have for YouTube, except our command parser would still work. But so you think you would just see the live screen? You would just see the live... I wonder what the parameter has to be. Okay, so it has to be a channel or a video or a collection. So it could be a channel name, actually. So instead of a URL here, you would just give a channel name. Unless you wanted to show clips or something, but maybe to start with. What do you want to embed? Live channels? Yeah, channel name. I think we can do this. I don't want to do it right this minute, but I think we can do this. It seems not totally different than Twitchland. Yeah. Yeah. That seems possible. Seems like a thing we can do. Let me think through this a little bit. Because I'm still pretty torn on this. The button thing. Do we try to make the buttons... Okay, so drop only needs like clear, basically. And it kind of makes sense to have a clear outside of the world. I mean, you could argue it either way, I guess. Or like a reset. Roll really only has a clear and a randomize. Drop could also have a clear and a randomize. Fade could have like a reset / clear and a randomize, but fade has a play and a stop in a way that roll doesn't. But it could. A play pause. So this has a button that switches. So the biggest difference, so these could be almost the same functionality. This could have a similar functionality. The biggest thing that this has that these guys don't is this thing that says what the tempo is. There's like a top tempo and a bottom tempo. And so those could be additional buttons that appeared down here, or that is something that could stay in the UI. If there was always a clear, always a randomize, yeah, like always clear, always randomize, and always like a start-stop toggle. They're just pretty different. Okay, so but that leaves these, and that's just weird. This one's super weird. This does have a clear and a stop that are kind of weird in the way they work, but this also has a thing that changes the tempo and a thing that changes the voice. But in this case, you're changing the tempo and voice of the thing you're about to draw, not the thing you did draw. Unless we just say that's not true anymore and say, the multiple voices on this, I think, are good. Like, we could rethink it so that those were not necessary, but they already are kind of necessary here. So that idea of the tempo change, it's just weird because this is the only one where you like make a choice and then do a thing, rather than you do a thing and then you can just change the choices up. It's This one's kind of fundamentally different in that way. This one's different because you just do, I think, one time, and then the thing happens. And it'll go until it leaves the board, really. I don't remember how that works, actually. Like how, there's not really a concept of a start and a stop and a clear on this one, but there could be. You can imagine that each of these instead became toggles, and you would just kind of toggle them on. And then if they were toggled, they would spit out their little dudes. I could also imagine making this one less dense, where instead of 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, it was just 2 by 2. And everything was just a little bigger. Because right now it probably sounds insane if you turn on everything. It's probably too much. Also, I thought I had it. Try to be a little more intelligent with the tempo, but maybe there's just too many things on. Okay. Anyway, gate that's a thing, and then ring. You can still have an on and off. You can still have a randomize. Can't really clear ring because they're just always, the emitters are there or they're not. But you can turn them all off or turn them all on. These other things are just weirdo buttons. These weights could be incorporated in here, and then it would just be like a kind of randomized sort of thing. So we can conform most of these with the basic functionality, except for line is just pretty different. And we could try to like reimagine it so it did work a little more like these other ones, but I don't know. I could imagine an idea where the tempo and the voice was not determined by the like a pen that you selected, but was determined by where you started. I don't even remember how I chose what tone the individual notes are. It may just be random. I don't know the answer. This is the most problematic one, I think. I think it is. We have a little bit of a problem with these tempos, but they change on the fly. Like you can see them change. Almost imagine that being like a drop down or something instead of a instead of a button. I don't really like that idea, but it's still, those are like stateful, right? Like you're changing a state that is a real-time state. And I guess, I mean, you're changing a state here, but it's not, it's a state that affects the next thing you draw. You're not affecting the state of the things that are there. And so that is a bummer, sort of. Okay, so just to summarize that another way, this is the only one where you make a choice first and then do something on the board. And I think that's bad. I mean, it's not, you know, fundamentally bad, but it's kind of bad in terms of how everything else works. So a way around that would be so I guess I have it so X only deletes the last one that you did. So this is more like an undo. Whereas this one is a stops them all. Interesting. Kind of don't want that. Kind of want to clear immediately. I mean, the reason I did that is because I was recording these like little performances when I was making videos of them, and so because of that, it was better if I could, like, you know, build up a song and then pull it back, but But whatever, like, we put the buttons down here, it's okay to label them differently. Like, instead of clear, it could have an undo or whatever, like. And then they could live down here, and they could be labeled. And that solves most problems. But it doesn't solve these two buttons. So we'd really have to rethink this if we did what I'm proposing. Unless it was something like you are always just changing the last line that you drew. Like if I change these, it would change for the last line that I drew, but then you could never go back and edit old ones. Or we could just randomize the tempo. When you start a new line, it's a random voice and it's a random thing, and you don't have that much control, and I think that's probably fine, actually. Like whenever I start to drag, it's just chooses a voice, the system chooses a voice, and it chooses a tempo, and you have the ability to randomize them all. I think I like that, because we're gonna have other kinds of randomization. This is not really meant to be like an authoring tool. It's supposed to be more like things will emerge. So I think that's okay. Okay, so that feels okay. So then the question really is about, like, really comes down to, do we want to do the thing where we pull all the buttons out of the UI up here and stick them down here. The two main reasons to do that are for consistency, so the buttons don't look different every time and are arranged differently every time. And some of the interfaces would probably look better without them. Like this one would probably just look better if it was just the bars, especially if we styled the bars a little better. I kind of like them in the corner here, honestly, but we could, if we wanted to, we could just stick some other visual element. These could just become more places to draw your lines. This one, okay, let's go through it. This one harms nothing to lose these. I mean, it's like nothing to lose them. This one, it kind of is a little sad because I think it's cool, the swappy guy, but I think the swappy guy is probably fine. Like if we did... Not the combs. The menus. Like if we just didn't do that. It would not be that big of a deal. It would still do the thing. It's kind of not quite as cool. But probably fine. Actually, a little surprised that it works. I sort of would have thought that we'd see a gap, but I guess not. This guy... Losing that column would not hurt my feelings. Super neat. I think this one is neat. I think that one's cool. How are you, lectures? And then we could add some buttons to randomize things and whatever. But we kind of have to have instructions. Unless as part of the randomization, it can also change direction. Picks a random direction. This guy, it would be probably look better without the sidebar. This guy I kind of like its arrangement, but it would not be too sad to lose the buttons. It would not break my heart. We could either keep the arrangement as is, and just, I'm doing okay. I didn't really mean to work on this today, but here we are. Like, we could just do, oh well, keeping the arrangement is apparently a problem. We could keep the arrangement and just not have the buttons. Or we could keep the arrangement and change them to be the buttons. That didn't work very well. But you know what I mean. And then just have those. And then we incorporate the colors in some other way. So like, that would be fine. This guy, maybe it's too dense. These might just be too tiny to click well. We could change kind of the base way that works. This one, I maybe would be a little sad to see the buttons go. It might be a tiny bit sad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's okay. And then this guy probably would look better without the footer. And then we don't really need the header. I think this one's going to look better. Okay, I think it's going to look better without the buttons. I think we've made our choice. I think. Did we make our choice? Who can say? Who can even say? So, setting up to do this thing that we're describing, it's going to take a bit of mucking around. I'm trying to decide if we want to do that as like a full sweep or if we do it one at a time. I guess my instinct is to say, let's get it working on drop first, like getting drop to be the thing we want it to be. The like sliding panel. So I'm trying to imagine how we want these to swap. Like as we pick a new thing, we could have sort of like this is the home, but then you could do like next and previous track. And maybe the whole thing just slides to the side. Let's not worry about being that fancy yet, just because we can just come up with a strategy where these are all prefab sheets that are kind of, or maybe we should just do it. Like this whole interface, you would just have multiples of these and just, you know, it would essentially just be this. You just have another one, but it's got the UI. In fact, we could just do all of them. Like I was about to say, like you would need to be fancy about, you know, looping and left and right and whatever, but actually you don't. We really could just do this. And the one thing we would need to be careful of is as we page through them, we'd want to disable, you know, you'd want to turn off the old one, remove that, stop whatever it's doing, and then slide it over, and then probably just disable that prefab fully. But that would not be that big of a deal at all. So why don't we do that? The only thing that's silly then is like there's extra stuff in here, but it may not matter. And if I delete this, okay, that is one problem. We want to be careful about like the percentage of space that this bottom content area takes versus this UI area. So we kind of want to have like spacer content UI, no, spacer content spacer UI spacer, something like that. It'll be a little annoying to maintain that across a bunch of these. Is this a scenario? Is this the thing I've been waiting for my whole life? For prefab variants that I've never used? I don't even actually used prefab variants before. Because we essentially want the same thing multiple times, but just a UI block will change and the content block will change. But I'm not sure if that means you can change child prefabs in that variant. Okay, maybe this is not going to do the thing we want, actually. Because we kind of want this base. No, maybe this is what we want. To make it extra clear, apply all to base. So like, Is this what I want in my life? The thing is, I mean, I wish I could see the hierarchy here. Yeah, it just adds to the hierarchy. So, one, I'm not actually sure we could do this, because when you add something like this, you're just sort of sticking something at the end of a prefab, not swapping, you know, like not swapping in the middle. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm describing this well. The thing I want 8 of these cards, but they'll have a different bit of content in them, and they'll have a different panel in them. I don't want to load and unload that dynamically, because I just want to see it here. I want to see all 7 of them, because I think it will make my life easier in terms of editing. You know, now that I say that, though, with this strategy I'm describing, is a little that's a little annoying if you're on the home. If I'm on the home page and I hit like the 7th track, then I have to like quickly slide across all the other tracks to the 7th track. Or should I just always make it when you play a track, it just, you know, you're entering and exiting tracks, you're not sliding through them, and then I really only need 2 pages. That's probably less annoying. Maybe. Kind of annoying no matter what. But that's less annoying, because then you just like dip in, dip out. I mean, really, you could still do the same thing and then just sort of dynamically load and unload all your prefabs. We also, I forgot, we were going to pool the pool all our polka dots. Which would be funny. I don't exactly know how we want to do that. Do we want to just say there's like, because we have like 32 polka dots per explosion and there's no maximum and whatever. That sounds like optimization. Let's not do that yet. Okay, so what is actually the thing we want to do? Let's just try this. This is not how we're going to do this. But it will at least let us just see the thing on the screen and edit the thing. Like I think the general structure of all of these will be this, basically. I guess we probably want a fixed size for this as well. I don't know. That's a little trickier. That, like, this is definitely sending us down a path of this thing is not going to work very well on iPads. But who cares? Maybe who cares? Probably not me. You know, it could be something like this, and then this UI guy gets a certain block size of whatever we say is the size. Not a ton of room for a lot of buttons, I must say. What are you doing over there? That's the header. You should really just be like across the top. It drives me insane. And then maybe somebody's got padding. See, this is, I don't understand this. Like if I'm saying 0.5 here, is it because somebody up here is saying you have to be full width? And I shouldn't do this? This is... I'm not forcing the width to expand. Use child scale. Here I'm saying... I guess this is not really how you do this. It would be more like whatever. Something like this-ish. I don't know. You got your header, doing your header stuff, and then your buttons probably turns into a grid, and it's probably 2 by 2, and there's probably yeah, this sucks. Wish this grid layout was better. It can't. That's what I built that other thing to do, is to be flexible and expand the spacing automatically. Which you can do with horizontal and vertical. You just can't do it here, which is kind of dumb, if you ask me. If you just wanted to say like, hey, divide, take what's there and just divide it, please. But I guess if we manually set this, but that's too wide because we have spacing. So then we have to do -2 here. And like, you know, this is not fun. Okay, but, and then also this width is wrong. And the height should really be minus whatever this remaining height is. I gotta stop. I don't understand this. If I hit... Okay, I'm here. I hit Control, Alt and Shift. You gotta do that to pick things. And just out of muscle memory, I keep accidentally hitting Control also. And somehow that opens some stupid offset. Maybe I'm accidentally hitting... I don't want that. Like somehow I keep opening Office Home. Because that's global. Like that's crazy. I'm like in a totally different application. It's deciding like, we should definitely take you to your browser. Are you serious? I have to edit the registry to disable this asinine shortcut that opens Office Home in a browser. That's beyond stupid. Wow, Microsoft, really? Really? I don't have Office installed. I don't use Office. I don't own anything. I don't like... Why would you do this? And you seriously... I hate you. Yeah, I'm with you, buddy. This is real dumb, real dumb, real dumb, real dumb, real dumb. Run as administrator? If I ever have to touch the registry, it means Microsoft did something stupid. Like there's just, okay, great. Now we're good. I hate you. Okay. What were we doing? So, yes, grid alignment is stupid in Unity and doesn't work very well, which is unfortunate. I don't know why all these buttons are prefabs. That's a little bit weird, but okay. So, I don't want to show any state there. I just want those to be buttons that send commands to the running dude. That's not really enough. Oh. I don't know. I don't like that. And then those could be buttons that do the thing, whatever the thing is. And then what would be cool is if I could get away with like instructions that are this simple. That might not be, that's maybe too simple. Okay, but then to test this, for now, I wish you snapped. Nope. Oh, I see. You can do both. And then you could be... So they would look something like this. I would come up with a better way to handle our instructions, but the idea would be something like this. And then if I wanted to clear would be a button down here instead. Those buttons are broken, obviously. And I think that's okay. And then we would have two options. Either we just reference the prefab directly with its manager class, and that would actually... Oh, shoot. Can we do this? Yeah, we can do it. It's not quite as tidy as I would want, but yeah. So basically, drop has a manager class already. It's actually not where you'd want it, though. We want it up one level. Like the drop manager, I want the drop manager at the root of the prefab, probably. So let's start with that. I think. No, that's not right. So we would do something like this. It's a little bit annoying, so it means we do need a background class, because I think we are like grabbing so some of this stuff stays here, and some of this we need a drop background class, and that's okay. So drop manager will come up here, and then you will get a drop background. This will feel better anyway, because like I was saying when we were going through them all, I think I would just prefer it to everybody to have some kind of manager class that does the business. So the idea here is that the drop manager we have, and then the drop background. So the event handling, these interfaces, we're still in Vim mode. Will come here instead. Funny, I remember some shortcuts just aren't coming to me. Okay, so we'd have all this stuff. That means we also need you. I wish there was better shortcuts for switching like web browser shortcuts. I would actually really like, but not the case here. So those pointer handlers are busted. So this is going to be a little annoying, possibly. We have to decide whose job it is to create the drops. So either the background just receives the events and then feeds those events up to the manager, and then the manager does the thing and just knows what's going on, or the background. So here's what I'm going to say. I think actually we don't want to do this. We want to do it a little differently, because I think we just want to set up this idea that it's going to be like send events. Like we'll have drop events. So these will be, let me just do that somewhere else. On the weights. Kind of this exact idea, where we'll have a delegate, and then we'll have events that we send. So we'll have a we need two of these. We need a drop start and a drop end, like on drop begin and on drop end. or on drop create start, on drop create in, because it's really like, this is the creation. Something like that. These names are not great. So you would do that, and then you would do you know, if on drop create begin, then call it. That kind of thing. What do I do? Oh, it's got to be not null. Sure. So if this guy's not null, then call my dude. We're missing a parameter here, but I don't quite know what the parameter is going to be. Could be a vec3. We may need 2 delegates, one for begin and one for end, whatever. To see if we actually need to know anything. Okay, let me try to do this the way VI wants me to. VI wants me to highlight this, hit C, and say end, and hit escape, and then go over here and hit period. No. I have to go here and hit period? Interesting. Okay. Don't love that. Okay, so yeah, the idea being we just want to bubble those events up. So you don't actually care about anything. You don't care about a position. We care about the rect transform and the pointer event data. So, okay, a few things. We do care about our rect transform. This sucks. I need better keyboard shortcuts to switch. Let's see. Switch window shortcut. Okay, so control F6 with okay, 1 or 2, 3. Alt left, alt right. What? I guess that's not true when you are in VS Code mode. So what is the Vim switch buffer shortcut? Does this work? Not yet implemented. Okay. So VS Code Vim. Maybe it's special. Those are what we're running, right? VS Code Vim. I see. We'll take over the control and handle. So we could turn that off. And it has a lot of plugins emulated. Okay, so we can do this. GB to the next word that matches. Okay, that's the main thing I've been wanting, so that's actually great. but the like switch. So control 1, control 2 works, but I need to switch between these more easily. Like, so how do we do it? Control 1 and 2 is not good. Control tab is okay, but like control tab is not a very natural thing. Like, BN and BP. Yeah, control tab, not good. Like BN that's slow. Also doesn't seem to work. So we can delete a buffer. But I have the manager and I have the background. I just want to be able to like really quickly toggle between these two files. Super fast. That only when they're in tabs? VS Code. Control tab is just bad. Command shift. Control shift. That doesn't seem to work. Maybe that's off. Wow, don't open 1Password on stream. that was cool. I guess you didn't show anything bad, but that was pretty weird. If there are any secret things... Oh no, my mainframe! Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything very secret there, but... Showed my email address for the 7 millionth time, because I'm just incapable of not showing that on stream, but... or an email address. Why can't I do anything? F6? Or that's just saying to bind it. Control K, Control L. These don't know. It's hard for me to know like what just isn't working and what isn't working because I'm in Vim mode. I don't want to do... There's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way. Or maybe not. Like I feel like I'm starting to get used to this in a way that I would like it. But if I can't... Switch editor. Okay. Page up and page down. Wait, what did you say? Go, switch editor, control page down, control page up, control. I'm holding control and I'm hitting control page down and it does not seem to be doing anything. However, if I say go, switch editors, then it does work. So that seems like them doing the thing. So next editor and previous editor. So Vim is killing that. I don't know, man. Like obviously I could bind a shortcut to do it, no problem. But as you know, I'm a person that likes, tries to stay stock. And it seems crazy that there's not just, not even really a shortcut, just like a key that does this. One button. What does easy motion mean? I feel like dealing with three things. There's like what VS Code wants to do, but then there's the fact that the Vim shortcut is like taking over. Like Control 1, Control 2 is not a fast, it's not the right answer. And it's dumb that BN and BP does not work. Does it work here? If I'm like, so it works here, but it doesn't work if you've done this. is not cool.
Don't cry. Talk to me.
Bye now. Wait, how did I lose my... Okay, I'm gonna give up in a minute, probably, or come back to it later. Control P. Control Pat. I don't like it. Annoying. I don't like it. This is bad. I can feel it hurting my hand to do that. Like, Control Tab is not a good shortcut. That is like, just feels like RSI waiting to happen. It's not a good shortcut. And it's really dumb that if these are side by side, colon BP, oops. Like, I can switch to these different buffers, but if they're side by side, I can't. I don't know, man. Seems really stupid. Seems really dumb. Control page up, page down works when I'm in this mode, but if I'm in this mode, it does not. It doesn't work. Which seems dumb. Just because the tabs are split, like, why can't I switch back and forth between these buffers? I don't want to plug in. Why should I have to have a plugin to be able to switch between two windows with a shortcut that already works? Just because those two tabs are displayed side by side instead of on top of each other? It's just dumb. Well, I don't think I can use stock BIM plugins. They emulate some plugins, so maybe one of their emulated plugins works. It feels not good. My hand is uncomfortable. I don't know that you can. Maybe you can. Anyway, let's actually do the work we were doing. So we were trying to do... Yeah, but I really wanted to be able to see both files. And look, that Control Tab shortcut that they tell you to use does not work if you're not... Okay, so is that the trick, though? Is it, like, we need to switch between groups? Like, window groups? GT. I don't know. I don't know what that does. I don't know, man. Seems dumb. I don't like it. Like, Control 1, Control 2 works. That's just like... That is a bad shortcut. Anyway. It's like less painful to reach over and grab my mouse and click, which is absurd. It's absurd that there's not a better way to switch between these two. Okay. I don't remember what we're doing anymore, because now I'm frustrated with how dumb that is. Right, we need to figure out what we actually needed. Yeah, this sucks. Like, I want to yank this, and then I want to instantly, with one shortcut, switch to this buffer. And I can't? What have you sent me? I don't like it. I already don't like it. What? What does this actually do? I don't like it. I already don't like it. I don't like this guy, and I don't like that the documentation's bad. So I automatically don't like it. Is this a Vim plugin or a VS Code plugin? It doesn't even say what it's a plugin for. Okay, it's for Vim. Are you sure this works? Because I could do Vim shortcuts to do the thing, but like, I don't think I need this to do that. I don't think I need this to just make some shortcuts. But even the Visual Studio Code shortcuts suck. There's no way actual people who like Vim would like that. It's just no way. Like, there has to be a way to switch group. It just seems crazy. Well, but if it's just a keyboard binding, then it's a custom keyboard binding. That's not what I'm looking for. I want something that's like, I'm saying there has to be like a native way to do that. It would seem insane to me. Like, if you're editing two files side by side and you want to just be bumping back and forth between them, like, that should not be a complicated shortcut. That should not involve control. Not that control is a complicated shortcut, but like control tab is instantly like your hand is not in a good place. Same for control 1, control 2. That's not fast. It's clunky. It seems impossible to me that there's not a shortcut for this. And then like some ability to... What's up? Alt arrow keys. I don't think so, but arrow keys that's all arrow key goes to up and down. Oh, it navigated through the... Well, that makes no sense. So if I hit Alt right, it goes up in this file, and then at a certain point wraps around. I don't know, but arrow keys are not good. Like, I should not have to put my hands on the arrow keys. I'm using Vim. I'm in Vim mode. I don't know what they are. Oh, Alt arrow keys are like... Oh, I was just moving a space, I guess. Alt arrow keys just move stuff around. So that seems like it's the same. I don't really... Alt left, alt right seems weird. Almost like it's a history of where I've clicked. Is that what it is? I don't know. E. Switching between files. Control N. Does that do it? That's what you would expect. Is N and P. You would expect BN kind of acts like it works. And if we were here, it does work. But when we're in separate editor groups, it does not work. Which seems insane. Yes, this is what I tried to do, and that's what made me show 1Password. So, but again, Control / is not a comfortable. Okay, you're saying that's okay. That's what puts us here, and then we need another shortcut to switch between them. So Control 1 and 2 do work, but that is a horrible shortcut. That's not good. And there's no circular switching. Command Shift. What on Windows would that be? Windows key left and right? That's collapsing. That doesn't seem to work. Control Shift left and right bracket does not do the thing. So this feels horrible. This is not good. Control K, Control left. Like you have to do 2 commands. That seems to not work in Vim mode. Command Shift left right is what my normal like muscle memory would be on macOS. On Windows, Alt left, Alt right. But so is that because I'm in Vim mode that's not working? But even that is not a good shortcut. It's not good. Like Vim should have a better shortcut for that. So what was I just looking at? So this gets us side by side. So you would expect like B space 1, B space 2. So the numbers changing isn't supported. You're so much further still. Okay, where are you? Control H, Control. I don't want to hit Control. Like I'm almost positive, I don't remember, but I'm almost positive there was a way. Okay, this is this. So if I've done this and I've split and I want to jump back and forth. So once I have split, switching between the windows to switch to the next window below the current window, Control WJ, to switch between vertical windows, Control WL, Control W left or right arrow. Okay, that works. Or Control WL, Control WR. No, that didn't work. Control W R. Control W L. Control W left and right arrow works. Control W L works. Control W R doesn't. To switch to the next. Wait, it's H. Okay, so Control W H. Okay, that makes sense because H and L are how you move left and right, right? Oops. So Control W H and Control W L make some kind of sense. And that's, I think, what I was trying to remember. I keep hitting Control W D, and that is close. Control W H, Control W. Wait, I hit Control W, and it closed the window. So I didn't hit D. It's just, for some reason, closing the window. Control W L, Control W H. If I hit Control W H again, it didn't do anything. To cycle through all, Control W W. Okay, that's not bad. Control W W. We're getting closer. We're getting better. I still don't want to hit Control, though. But whatever. Okay. Control W will toggle between the two. That's good enough, I guess. I would prefer not to have to hit Control, though. Like, I'd rather type colon something something, you know? I feel like I didn't have repetitive stress problems until suddenly now I do. Alt might be a little better. But you know, I really try to keep things stock. Interesting. Window. Oh, that's kind of nice. If you just use Control, you can move around just like you would. That's kind of nice. I gotta admit. It is a curse. It is true. It's true. I don't know. You're the one who did this to me. Okay, Control WW. I just don't want to touch the control. I don't know. Like, for some reason, my hand is hurting me. Hurting me today. Okay, what? I don't even have any idea what we're doing anymore. We wanted this, and we wanted to now say Control W. Like, Control W is just not a comfortable thing to hit. So we need the Rex transform over here. It just feels like it shouldn't be a weird shortcut. Am I crazy? Feels like it should be natural. A natural thing to do. To edit in two files. We want this. We need you. No. What if there's like some command I could type that I would prefer to the Control W just sucks. Okay, so let's drop our prefab. We need to clear stuff in here. Probably. I want to know how to do this. So really we want to probably clear all when we destroy. And then this stuff needs to change, right? So we need... These are things that we're going to subscribe to on the background. I don't remember the vim command for move things up and down. Okay, so then on enable, we can do it in start and not have to do it every time. But I don't care, we just listen to that. It's not that big a deal. Background dot on. Okay, so if I highlight this, what did they say? GB will highlight both? That's pretty good. Okay, so they do have multi-editor support, multi-cursor support. So drop create begin, drop create end. I don't care about that. So drop create begin. Control B no longer closes this guy, which is annoying. You will no longer respond to those. I don't know, Lavagers. This gutter is bad. I'm, like in general, I feel like it is helping me, and I feel like I'm like some muscle memory is coming back to back when I used to be able to do things fast and not have to use a mouse. But maybe this is terrible. So we care about a why do we do this? Screen point to world point in the rectangle, and then we create it at the world position relative to that. So weirdly, you would almost want you kind of want an anchor position, but I guess this is fine because we can just do that. So like world position. Control WW is a bad shortcut. It's bad. So on pointer down, we would need to do this. Bullet point. So either we need 2 delegates or we just have 1 delegate. It's not that big of a deal either way, I guess. Feels a little silly. But they will have... Maybe there's a reason not to do this. I don't actually know. Because one wants arguments and one doesn't. So in one we pass in that world point. And otherwise it just comes in here. So this almost seems okay. Some of these methods are going to end up being, well, like they'll come from an interface or something. Okay, we need to actually... What's your problem? Wait, I just... That's all. Okay, okay. I'm still mad about that page switching. So it's just a reference that we're missing. That should be fine. Oh, our little bursts are... not scaled properly. But that can be a polish patch on this particular dude. Okay, so what that means now is that all of these are going to have a manager class at the top, and those manager classes are going to implement some kind of interface that says do the stuff, like clear, for example. So let's start with clear, I guess, actually. So we can make a shared. I still want to get that ratio. Get rid of that guy, but we will. We will. Okay, so this will just be like an I. Track. And each one of these is a track. I don't know. So. It's weird to switch from a program where I'm being all mousy to a non-mousy program. So you're just namespace to volume 1. And so that's not right. And they'll just be like a public void clear, for example, right? And then over here, how do we call it, clear or reset, but whatever. We will start to say that all of our tracks are going to have to implement the iTrack interface. And then we'll probably want some kind of region that is just all about oops. And then we'll just need a public void here. And we'll just say, when you call clear, this is the thing that you do. then this guy can just know how to call it. And this can go away. So that's the general idea, is that we'd have some interface that does everything. Man, remember when I got really mad because I couldn't switch to Windows? I'm still kind of mad about it. A little bit mad. So that's going to break one thing, but probably not a very important thing. It's going to break one of our buttons. So like, but our buttons we're getting rid of them. So probably don't care. So what that means now, for example, is over here, I don't know why these are prefabs. Let's not make them that. This would be the clear button, and we'll do whatever styling we need to do for that in the future. Clear. And it's a little annoying. It would be nice to be a little more generic with this, but we could... Let me think. Ben's not watching, so we can use inheritance. So the thing is like on these, when we add the methods that we want to call on the buttons themselves, oh, that's not even a button. It's a toggle. That's probably why I did it that way. But we would essentially want to say that when you... A toggle is actually kind of a smart way to do that, now that I think about it, but whatever. We would drop in the actual dude in here, and then we would call whatever methods we want. So on drop, we would say like drop manager, and then we would call the thing, and we would just know. Maybe we should prefix those all with like track or something. Oops. Oh, I should hit F2 here and do track clear. And then it'll automatically get changed there. That's handy. Okay. I like :BN more than I like Control-WJ. Personally. I wish it worked. I wish it worked. Just across those. Across this buffer spot, whatever. Okay, so now we have clear, and now we can say drop manager. It's just a little annoying that we'll have to do this every time, you know, like it's going to be a different object we're talking to every time. But if we're doing it with Unity components, there's not a perfect answer for that anyway, so. Okay, that was a lot of fuss, but now we can hopefully do this and then hit clear, and we'll clear them. And that's pretty funny, because it like totally cleared it. So I definitely did that wrong, because it should actually be like background transform, but I think we put stuff in the background. I think. And then when we add stuff, I think we actually need to add it to the background. Oops. Okay. And the same should apply if we go here and go to drop and we just disable and enable. That was weird. Disable, enable. My first guy didn't grow. The second ones did. Enable, disable. What? That's weird. Wait, is that always true? Does the first guy always not grow? Did I do something very wrong? No. If I clear, the first guy grows. It's only if I enable and disable, then the first time I click... what? Okay. Enable, disable, press and hold, and it, like, doesn't get it. It doesn't, What? That doesn't make very much sense. We subscribe to the events on start, so we should get them either way. It's like we're immediately getting an end after our start or something crazy. Create dopplet, start grow, stop grow. That's on the dropper. We always know about the current dropper. When we call clear, we just go through the background and delete all of its children. And all you do is just That's weird, right? What if it's off and then we hit play and then we turn it on? It does the same thing. The first time you click? What? Oops. Do what now? You get an end immediately the first time you click. Why would that be true? I'm getting an on pointer. Oh, I know why. Oh. Why doesn't that happen every time? That's funny. That's funny. It's dumb, but it's kind of funny. Interesting. Okay, what it seemed like is like we instantiate a thing and then that thing is underneath the pointer, and so we get, it counts as a mouse out, right? But why would that only happen the first time? If our other little dudes weren't raycast targets, it'd be nice to kind of be able to drag them around though. I think. Maybe? That one's a little weird because if you drag it around, the size is already established. So that's a pretty weird one. So, I mean, if that's what's happening though, why isn't it always happening? That seems like a thing that if it was going to be broken, it would be always broken. Right? Yeah, that's really weird. Why, now that I think about that, why isn't it broken 100% of the time? Okay, let's double check those assets and see if they are raycast targets. So like the droplet could be one, could be the droplet, is a raycast target. So let's turn that off for now. And the dropper is a raycast target. The thing that's weird is it feels like those would be, that would just be a thing that would always be broken. I don't understand why it's sometimes broken. Okay, that doesn't appear to be the problem because it's still... None of these are raycast targets, so... So maybe that's not the problem. Like the first time you do it, after a disable, oh, that's weird. Let's not do this for a second. I don't know why this would make a difference, but... No, because it was happening even when it was disabled and coming to enabled, so it's not a thing that is... Okay. You work, and I clear you, and you work, and I turn you off, and I turn you on, and you don't work. And it's firing that event, like that pointer up is getting fired. It's even when I... I wonder if it's a problem related to doing it from the editor, like, and it's not really a problem. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. So in other words, I'm wondering if it would not be a problem if we toggled it in some other way. It's weird though. The biggest of the big is too big. Well, maybe not. So previously we had the ability to pause these, but not... But it seems like we broke it, actually. Definitely broke that. So the notion of stop auto drop. Okay, it's because of this. Yeah, this wasn't a great way to do this. This was actually a very silly way to do this. So I mean, there's a couple ways to do it, but this is just not very good. So probably the right way is, you know, as we make droppers, just make droppers. So we have private list. Just maintain a list of these, and then we can iterate through them if we need to. But that does mean when we do this, we need to it's fine. Let me just clear the list. There. And then we want to do this. Clearly not using that. Clear the track when you're disabled. So instead of this, and something like that. And then we just need to be sure that when we create one, we add it. I don't know that we really want to do this though. Thanks. I think it turned out okay. It ended up being more of a hassle, and actually the performance is bad on it right now because we're just instantiating a bunch of stuff we don't need to. But is your problem? Oh, we didn't. Sure. Yeah. That's a problem. It needs some tuning because right now it's the same size no matter how big the bubbles are. So we'd want it to like scale up and down when the bubbles do their bubbly thing. So we can now stop auto drop. Seems like that didn't work. So maybe we broke. Be sure to be applying these prefabs actually. So the stop button is actually doing nothing. Both these buttons are useless. What was that? Oh, was it stop all? Stop all? Kind of a bad name for that. And then this guy would be clear, but we're gonna throw this away anyway. Yeah, okay. Track clear, right, okay. So, I don't know. In this case, if the stop is very useful. But in theory, we can stop and then they don't do anything. Which is like, why? Why would you do that? I guess I did that just so I could record and have a point where the tracks stopped. But we don't actually even toggle them. We just turn them off. So that's useless. It's useless. Clear button works up here. Clear button works there. Instantly destroys everything. This toggle is ridiculous and I don't understand it, but hopefully it's just a Unity editor thing. Kind of seems like it is. So now we probably want some kind of randomize. Problem is, I guess it doesn't matter. I was about to say, I don't know how we show, like how we choose what beat to start or stop on, you know? Like if we create a new guy, we say create droplet and then we say start grow. So when we create a droplet, I don't know how we decide which beat it's gonna fall on. This is a little lame because if we're gonna do the randomize, we can't actually just use this stuff. We can't do like start grow and stop grow. We would have to do like set size and then turn on. Who calls this? Who calls start auto drop? We do here. We say stop grow and start auto drop. So when we say start auto drop, that's how we do it. And we just say really? Is this how we do this? The thing is, this would mean they would all land on the same beat. Is the problem if we did like a randomize. Let's just try it, because I think we because I think we'll want randomize on everybody. I think that's just the thing we're gonna want. And whatever. 12. These are droppers, really. That's probably too many. And then we'd want to create yeah, this is kind of funny. Either we try to call these methods and just call them like one after the other, or we need to break things up a little bit. It's probably fine actually to just call them one after the other and just cheat and set the size in the middle. The only issue is if we do that, we're gonna have a bad time probably. Because I think they're all gonna land. We'll have to figure out like to get a random point and a rect and then turn that into a world point. That's okay. For now, we'll just stick them on top of each other. Okay, so that would be like track randomize. And then our little GUI buddy. Which I guess we could do this, delete all the droppers. We'd want to clear, but not clear the drops. We'd only want to clear the droppers. So we need another parameter, I guess, to our dude. That's a little annoying. Oh, maybe it's okay, because either we want to clear anything or only the droppers, and we have a list of those, so. Oh, it wouldn't be too bad. Okay, so we got a randomize button, and the randomize button is now going to call that new method called track randomize. And this is probably going to be broken. Probably. I don't even really know how that works even a little bit, but cool. Probably, did we actually, okay, we do, we know, we pick the tone that it plays based on the size, right? So when we grow, do we have a minimum size? Probably. Like if auto grow, we basically start from 0 to grow scale. What? Wait, grow scale. Who's... Who sets this? You do. Those are size constraints. I don't really know how that works. Doesn't make very much sense to me. Okay, we're setting the gross scale. I see. So we set the gross scale and then kind of don't care about that until so seems like we just need to pick a random gross scale. This is funny. Why would I do this? Why wouldn't I ever? This is why it shrinks. Because I wanted to keep it in some kind of range for some reason. That's why it does that weird thing where it was popping down in the size. Okay, so I can do this. I can do GB, GB. I think that's okay. Okay. So we do the gross scale set, and then the local scale happens. But does it actually matter? Do we actually care about the gross scale? We care about it for auto grow. Yes. So what we would have to do is in the middle of those two things, we would have to set the gross scale. Like we would do the thing, like we were doing this, we'd basically do this. Those are all private. So probably just want like a set scale. It's all uniform. Not really no reason for the gross scale to be a vector 3. You know? We're just sort of making more work for ourselves. Because this could just be if we need a vector, we can just do that. And if we don't, We can just do this. And then we don't need to do this. And down here, stuff's broken, but it's only because we don't really care about you. So basically, we're just saying, hey, if you're less than that, you need to be at least this much. This is just a clamp, really. This is a clamp 01. That's all this is. So that's not what I clicked. Clamp. So we just need to clamp it. And then something like that. What are you complaining about? My light is sagging. The new saggy light. Should go eat lunch one of these days. Okay, so that means, and the clip is based on the size. That makes a lot of sense. So the thing that's a little annoying is like all these places that we're doing stuff that are like scale wise. But so that means we just need to be able to set the grow scale, basically. And so probably what I would want is a property then. And with a like get private set. What are you mad about? What is now public? And then in here, when we're doing grow scale stuff, we do the grow scale stuff, and that's fine. And then from the outside, we can just set grow scale in between in here. That's a little annoying though, because we don't know the. I guess we do technically. All right, dropper dot grow scale equals random dot range from 0.1 to 1. What are you mad about? Oh, why? Yeah, why did I say private set? I don't want it private set. Unless I'm going to make a method do it. I explicitly want to set it from somewhere else. Okay. So now we do that. So this is still going to be broken position-wise, but maybe it lets us have random sizes. Oh, that's probably why I did the 99. That's why I did the 99. So we would never overflow. Otherwise, we're using that just to make a selection from an array, and we don't want to actually, like, to get an integer, basically, within a range. We don't want to select the very, very end of that range because it's the next whole number, and that would be outside of the range. Randomize. Do we actually have different sizes? Yes, we do. So great. We randomize, and now we need to randomize our position, which is a little bit more annoying. I mean, the thing we did was a little bit annoying, but it wasn't the most annoying. How? We need like a random world point in rect. So if we got the world corners, we could are those world? So I don't know if the thing I'm about to do, I'm not sure if it's right, but we'll figure it out. We need the rect transform of the background. Why are you static? That's interesting. I was actually using that. I mean, that kind of makes sense. That's an interesting thing to do. Like, that's kind of almost cool, almost cool. You're setting yourself up for trouble, I think, but I sort of see why I would do that. Okay, so it would need to be something like I just don't know if these are in world coordinates. They may not be, and then we'll just have to do that. But oops. Problem? Is that not what it's called? Wait, there's an X-Men, but not an X-Max? X-Men? Oh, Rex. Really confusing myself. Okay, so something like this. So you're telling me I can hit V, GB, GB, R, Y, no, X, Y, no, I, Y, C, Y. V, GB, GB, X, I, Y, whatever. Okay, so then we just have X, Y, 0. Something like that. Something like that. Probably broke it. That range could be totally wrong. In fact, it's probably going to be scaled up like ludicrously, but we'll see. It may not be actually because we set the camera, we tried to match our camera coordinates to our rect coordinates, so. I don't know how I got a broken guy. Like it should never be below a certain size. Okay, clear, randomize. They're probably just like totally off. Yes, they're off in the universe. Okay, so that's fine. We need like rect, I guess it's maybe in this rect transform utility. World to screen point. Screen point. Or we do the world corners, which maybe is the thing we should have just done to begin with. Bottom left, top left. Let's just do this, I guess. So it would be, we want to be between world corners 0.x, which is down here, and that's 0, 1, 2, and world corners 1.x. Oops. Maybe. Oops. And then your y. What have I done down here? Maybe that works. It's supposed to be 2. Almost. Almost. Clear. Randomize. If we keep hitting randomize, we just get trillions. We got a minimum when hitting randomize would want to delete. I think we just want to clear. That's the easiest thing to do, is just say whenever we randomize, first thing we want to do is track clear. quite understand the what our strategy was for we just had to look at it and see, but our strategy for figuring out like the tempo here, because I kind of would have thought on creation they would, the way we're doing it, just at one moment, they would actually all fall at the same time. I know, we've got swollen bubbles. It's true. I think they're too big. I'm actually confused why there's any variation at all. It's also funny, you can make a bubble so low that it will rise instead of sink. Like, I remember on some of these, I put in some special, we could also add like a bias to keep things smaller than bigger. Okay, anyway, we can clear and we can randomize. We got big old bubbles here. Too big. So this would be the idea. So, and just to fully bear this out, we would just not do this anymore. That would just be not a thing that we did. So how do I feel about this before I do it to all the other ones? I think I feel okay about it. I think we'd never want more than 4 buttons. 2 buttons looks kind of dumb, but we probably have more text. I think I like it. I think this is what we're gonna do. We could also have a mutate button that would just take the current ones and just kind of like shuffle them, not totally recreate, but you could, so you could have done a thing and then we would like mutate it a little bit, which would effectively be randomized, but it would be based on what was there rather than something generated totally from scratch. Might also be nice to delete the last one. Kind of like an undo. Undo might be a good thing. So this one, for example, might have like randomize, mutate, clear, undo. You wouldn't get a redo though. There's no redos. Sorry. I think it's okay. Possibly. It's possibly okay. It's possibly not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It might be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Maybe, but it's possibly not. trying to think, actually, now I'm trying to decide if we want to sort of create all of these and not ever disable and enable the prefabs. And the reason to do that is if we did start to do stuff like pooling and pool our little particle sprites, we would probably only ever want to do that once. I don't know. I don't know about that, actually. Depends on how much overhead. There should be no overhead to just have it sitting there off screen. As long as we checked all our update loops and made sure they weren't doing dumb stuff, then it would probably be okay. So like, who's next? Is roll. And roll really just had a clear and randomize also. So that would be something, a little something like this. We would really just need to duplicate this and say roll, and then replace this guy with this guy. That was the wrong thing to do. Wrong, dead wrong. We would do this instead. And we would make sure it was on, and let's just say you're always on. And we would then try to drag this in a way that was good and not dumb. Nope. And have it snap. And over here, we would say, don't do that. Don't. Kind of funny where my audio sources are, but I guess that's fine. Like, I literally have the audio sources. I think we should turn on some stereo stuff for this. I think the spatial could be interesting. Even if it's kind of accidental. So, like, no. What I'm imagining is that this guy just does this and like basically doesn't exist. But then all of these guys live in here. And a couple ways we could do this. That seems bad. Why did what? Why did this happen? Okay, this is not a good way to do this, actually. Or is it? The problem is we want them to all have the right aspect ratio, and if we do it this way, that's not going to be true. Unless we enforce it, which of course we could do. I was just trying to be a little bit lazy, but we got to be careful with that, actually. Because this is funny. This lets us have we're like stretched to fit, but we're just offset, which is like almost right. I really wish this snapped. I don't understand why it doesn't. Why it wouldn't snap to the edge there. That would be good instead of bad. Real hard to tell. Anyway, so then this would be roll. And the thing about roll is that roll would no longer have buttons. Oh, I turned off the wrong buttons. Roll would no longer have menus. And we would just need to add, you know, the hooks for clear and randomize. These are not good instructions, but that's okay. So now we would go to roll, and we've got some issues here because we do want to make it, okay, this is a little bit annoying. Because we want to like actually maybe it's not that bad because it's already at the root. So like we sort of just need to rename this to role manager. It's a bit weird if that's the background. I guess we could have done that on drop now that I think about it. Oh well, we didn't. And then this may not have let me. This may not be happy. Guess we'll see. Okay. So randomize and clear are not going to work here yet until we go to the role manager. Why didn't we just do that on drop? Oh well, that was a minor thing. So this is also going to be an eye track, and we want to implement the interfaces. Yeah. Oops. Implement interface. And, you know, we'll go up here and we'll do the stuff. And we'll say track clear. So seemingly we actually have those all on the drum. Looks like. So we have a clear and randomize on the drum already. I don't think randomize on the drum randomizes the direction, but maybe it does. That would be cooler. Looks like we don't, but we could. Yeah, actually this is a little bit lame because you'd sort of want this to be the manager, right? Like this actually looks like the thing that should be the manager. Sort of. And then the background thing is just the background thing. Because all the work is done here. But I'll ignore that for the moment. We've got some color stuff to figure out. But that's okay. Oh yeah, so now we gotta set these buttons we talk to the right dude. Then we broke our other button somehow. Role, manager, clear. Role, manager, randomize. You're all good. Okay. I kind of want two buttons. And like random direction and random notes, or we just do it all at once. But then that makes our interface useless. Our interface is actually kind of useless anyway, honestly, since we have to like reference those things individually, but whatever. Our interface is not doing much work other than just like forcing me to conform to something, but as soon as the buttons don't conform, they don't conform. And so it kind of doesn't matter. Like it's not enforcing anything like at runtime, you know? It's not like enforcing some consistency and structure really, because we're just pointing to things. It doesn't matter that they're an interface. I described that poorly. Anyway. Do those just turn off or do they fade out? Can't quite tell. There's a hitch. Still jump. I don't remember that jump being there before. Surely it's not a performance thing. It's like we're lerping towards it, but we're getting there early, and then there's like 2 frames. That's not quite what it looks like though. Definitely see a little jump as far as like how those are interpolating, so there's something wrong with the animation. I don't remember noticing that yesterday. That looks bad enough that I would have noticed it. So I guess it's possible that it's something that I just did, but no, it looks totally smooth here. So what could be causing that jump? I bet I know. I have a theory. I don't know how to fix it, but I think it's the scale around this. There's something about the like total size, something's off. So I think I'm gonna ignore that for the moment. Because I'm still not totally sold on that padding thing we're doing. Just not sold on it. This thing. Like, this may just be better for a lot of reasons. It may be better because everything's bigger, and it may just make our lives easier. Yeah, that was it. So, you know, I kind of like that little effect, but it does make everything smaller when we're already sort of real estate constrained, and it does potentially introduce goofy bugs. So my instinct is to not do it, I guess. Okay, so that makes roll work. I kind of don't want to stream anymore today. What's the next thing on the list? Also, how did these get spaced out? Oh, because I shrunk them. Sure. Honey, I shrunk the interfaces. That's funny, actually, to have this scale. I'm sure we could figure out a way to do this. And just actually slide this, like, individual canvases over. Because a problem we have right now is, like, we've kind of lost our responsiveness, I think. To some extent. Maybe not. Maybe it still actually does work. Because it is stretched. That's funny. Okay, if that works, that's kind of cool that it works. It's sort of an accident that it works. But so the stretch is right, and then there's just an offset. That's handy. Okay. So what is the next friend? Would be fade. So fade is one where we start to have to worry a little in terms of that looks quite broken. How did I break you so much? Fade, I would like to change the look of somewhat because it's just, I don't want the colors to be this bold. And I kind of want to change how it works a little bit. And we have to deal with this weird, like, step problem. I don't know if we're going to have drop downs or something, or just kind of a button that cycles through options. That's how these work. But then you need a label to say what they were. I don't know. Here's what I do know. I should probably commit all this stuff before. But I also want to kind of stick it in a branch. Let's stick it in a branch, all the stuff we did today, just because I'm not 1,000% certain. I don't actually know what's going on with this. We'll ignore that for the moment. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna eat food and use the bathroom and go for a walk. It's 3 o'clock somehow already. I don't know how these things happen. Kyle, we'll do the Twitch thing. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Next time I stream, maybe we'll do that Twitch overlay thing, just for kicks. Maybe that'll be a Monday event. My beard does something crazy now. Like, it's really gray on my jaw right here, but that part of my beard grows faster, and so I have like long, weird, gray Wolverine hair. Anyway, it's probably too much information for you. Yeah, I feel like this thing's coming along. I think this is the right choice. It doesn't matter. It's a choice, and it's a choice we made, so it's the right choice, even though I'm not fully committed to it yet because we're still in that branch. So it feels plausible that we just follow this through, update this, do this pass to get all the UI broken out to the main scene, which I feel like we really could do that in one stream. Like go through everybody and just get the stuff broken out at least. And then maybe 2. Then maybe it's time for UiPass and just like clean up the look of some stuff. And then it's probably time for an audio pass. And I would like to be done with that by the end of next week, really. Like basically by the end of next week, I would like to say this thing is done. And then we have to go through the stupid horrible nightmare of releasing it. Probably I'll just release it to the Play Store initially just to test it and get it, you know, just say like this thing works and it's up. And then once that is all done and it's up and it works and we got all the annoying things taken care of, then we'll release the iOS version. And I'm not going to do in-app purchases or anything because that's annoying. I'm just going to charge money for it. Maybe it will be $1. Maybe it will be $2. Maybe volume 1 will be $1. And then when volume 2 comes out, it'll be $2. And by the time I get to volume 100, I'll be rich. That sounds like a great plan. Okay, anyway. Live visitors, thanks for stopping by. Kyle, thanks for stopping by. And I will talk to people the next time I talk to you. Goodbye.